In a quiet valley surrounded by the hills of Israel, where the early morning sun painted the land with soft golden light, a young shepherd named David walked with a peaceful confidence that came not from strength or experience, but from a deep trust in God that had guided him since childhood. As he approached the battlefield, the air trembled with the echoing roar of a giant named Goliath, a man feared by armies, a warrior so large and powerful that even the bravest soldiers hesitated at the very sound of his voice. Day after day, Goliath mocked Israel, shouting challenges meant to break their courage, and for 40 long mornings and nights no one dared to step forward. But David, carrying only bread and grain for his brothers, heard the giant's insults and felt something rise within him, not fear, but a righteous anger, because he knew that no one, no matter how strong, should speak against the living God. When King Saul questioned his courage, David gently explained that he had faced lions and bears while protecting his father's sheep, and each time God had rescued him. With that same quiet assurance, he refused the heavy armor offered to him, choosing instead 5 smooth stones from a nearby stream, simple, ordinary stones held by an extraordinary faith. As he walked into the valley, Goliath laughed at the sight of him, but David kept moving, his heart steady, his steps calm, his spirit resting in the promise that God does not abandon those who trust in him. Lifting his voice, David declared, "You come to me with a sword and a spear, but I come to you in the name of the Lord." Words so powerful they echoed like thunder between the mountains. With a single motion, he placed a stone in his sling, swung it with practiced precision, and released it into the air. Time seemed to slow as the stone flew forward, guided by more than human skill, striking the giant on his forehead and bringing him crashing to the ground. In that moment, the valley fell silent because Israel realized what David had always known, that victory does not belong to the strongest or the biggest, but to the one who believes. And as the people cheered, David's message to the world became clear. No matter how large the giants in your own life may seem, whether they are fears, worries, struggles, or storms you cannot control, God is greater, God is present, and God is able to give strength to those who call on Him. The story of David teaches us to face our battles not with fear, but with faith, not by counting our weaknesses, but by remembering God's power, and not by looking at the size of our problems, but by fixing our eyes on the one who walks beside us. And so as you listen to this story today, take a deep breath and let David's courage remind you that you too are never alone, that every challenge you face is seen by God, and that even the smallest step of faith can lead to a victory far greater than you imagine.